This is Group 5 presenting the final presentation on the Project High Tech's Building Extension Phase 1. On the agenda, we have outcome presented by Ikene, project schedule presented by Domino, cost presented by Christian, risks and countermeasures presented by Christian, customer feedback presented by Cheryl, lessons learned presented by Bimbola.
Good evening. My name is Biosa Christian Ekene, and I'm here to talk about the outcome of this project based on the deliverables required by the client. The intended deliverable for this project was high-tech building extension, which included a game room and a recreational center. We met the above stated deliverables and got customer satisfaction. The major key to the success of this project is teamwork. Another major difficulty encountered was the preliminary stage, which includes getting permits, licenses, and receiving the design plans on time. We were able to overcome this project by a strict project schedule. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Domino. In this section, we are going to talk about project schedule. Our project schedule. Because this is going to involve dates, I might as well state that today is Thursday, December 5, 2019. Our project was scheduled to start in September 4th, 2019, and started on the right day. So the target date and completion date was the same. During this project, our project schedule had few milestones. Of course, the start date could be taken as a first milestone, which we met. And then our next milestone was initial inspection and approvals. We needed the city to inspect and approve allocation and engineering of the building and all that. So that was scheduled to be September the 5th of this year, and it took place on the same day. So that milestone was met on the same day. Our next milestone was the foundation approval. Obviously, after clearing the place and building the foundation, we could not get the building started until the foundation is inspected and approved. So the target of foundation approval was to be October the 8th of this year. Fortunately, we got lucky. We finished our foundation a little earlier. We asked the city, and the city came in and they inspected, and they were happy with it, and we got approval on October 7th. So that was one day saved, and you can see that milestone is highlighted in green to indicate that it was done a little earlier than I was scheduled. Our next milestone was building the frame and the roof, the completion. The target date was October 28th of this year, and unfortunately, we completed on time. Our next milestone was plumbing and wiring completion. That was targeted to be November 22nd. Luckily, our inspectors did the final inspection for both plumbing and wiring, and That milestone was done a day earlier, November 21st. You can see also highlighted. So these two milestones, the foundation approval and plumbing and wiring completion, they kind of helped us actually to speed up the project. The next milestone, building final inspection and audit, was scheduled for today, December 5th, 2019. And we completed a little earlier. The inspector from the city came in and approved our building. We got the permit, and that got completed on the 3rd, December the 3rd. That's when we completed that milestone. And the closing of this project was scheduled for December 6th, which is tomorrow. But since we finished everything a little earlier, we were able to meet up with our sponsor, and we closed the project on the December 4th yesterday. Thank you.
This is Christian Purvis, and I will be presenting our findings for cost on this project. This project was, of course, heavily focused on the hardware, which is where a lot of the money was budgeted to be spent on. We successfully hit that budgeted number of $250,000 without going over budget. The installation services involved the installation of the security system, which costed the amount we estimated it would, which is $3,000. In the ongoing costs, we went over budget a bit in the salaries department. We budgeted $68,270. We ended up spending an actual $70,000. This will be explained a little bit more in the next slide, but basically we ran into an unanticipated countermeasure. The maintenance budget from the monthly security fee, which was $240, was estimated just right. Lastly, the external vendor services, which involved paying the landscaper $1,200, was just as we estimated it to be. Hi, I'm Christian Purvis, and I will be presenting the risks and countermeasures. In the beginning, when we created the project scope, we had a total of 7 risks that we anticipated experiencing on this project. While the project was underway, we also had a couple of unanticipated countermeasures. I'll begin with the anticipated risks. Construction was about being aware of the possible subsurface geological and geotechnical conditions, defective designs, site access, accidents, and damage to property. Performance was about being aware of the possible productivity of labor, availability of equipment, labor disputes, and sustainability of materials. Security was about being aware of the possible vandalism, terrorism, negligence, intrusion, corruption, and assaults. Contractual and legal was about being aware of the possible insolvency of contractor or subcontractor. Negotiating change orders, delayed payments on contracts, delayed dispute resolution, permits and licenses, inconsistent costs, time, scope, and quality objectives, and additional needs requested by stakeholders. Physical was about being aware of the possible natural catastrophes and disasters. Soil availability for construction, lack of specialized staff, hazardous waste, off-site and on-site wetlands. Political and societal was about being aware of the possible public disorder, environmental pressures, strikes, regulations, water quality issues, and environmental impact. Environmental was about being aware of the possible change in seismic criteria, wrong selection of materials, errors in completion of structural and or foundation. Now on to the unanticipated countermeasures. Health and safety hazards. An accident happened where a forklift accidentally hit a utility pole that knocked out the electricity, slowing down in construction for a few hours until a backup generator was brought to site. And lastly, subcontractor default. Even though it is common for subcontractors to default during a project, we didn't expect for two subcontractors to do so. But thanks to our constant monitoring of their work and having multiple backups ready, we did not have any delays in schedule.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Sadiq, and as you know, my team and I was responsible for managing the project for High Tech's building extension phase 1. After the completion of this project, we asked our customer for feedback, and High Tech was gracious enough to provide us information as to the job we done. Communication is most important throughout the project. It is also imperative to get the customer's feedback once the project has been completed or if a decision was made to terminate a project before its completion. We asked High Tech Incorporated to rate our project management team on a scale of 1 to 5 and then to give an overall rating of how well we did. We use 5 categories for them to rate us on: quality of deliverables, schedule control, budget control, stakeholders relationship, and communication. For quality of deliverables, we were given a score of 5. High Tech noted that we had timely communications, which ensured that our deliverables were all met. For controlling schedules, we were rated a 4. Nature played a huge role in this phase of our project, and it's because of that we were unable to control our outside forces as we were constructing a framework for a building. There were also challenges with the Greensboro inspectors trying to get them scheduled to come out at a reasonable time to ensure that we met this milestone as well. On controlling the budget, we were rated a 5. We were given a budget of $350,000, and our project management team was able to come under budget by $30,000. That was an excellent feat for a first time project by this team, and High Tech noted that by an excellent score of 5. Rate rating the stakeholder relationship, we received a 4. We built trust with the sponsors by ensuring that we had timely meetings. We made everyone aware of any ahas, and we also ensured that we communicated out to all of the employees regarding what was going on and where we were at every phase of the project. One thing that we could have done better here for the project was to ensure that our sponsor was a little bit more engaged. Because she was so busy, it was very hard sometimes to find time on her schedule to meet. We did, however, maintain our schedule of communication. Speaking of which, we also asked High Tech to grade us on our communications efforts, and we were given a score of 5. What we did was hold 2 meetings weekly for all our stakeholders. And once we had the framing work in place and everyone signed off on its completion, we scaled those meetings back to once a week. We then asked High Tech to score us overall for the whole project, and they gave us a score of 5, which is excellent. Again, communication played a huge role in our success. We also asked High Tech to rate the areas of importance to them with a rating scale of 1 to 5, and 1 being the most important. So High Tech looked at all that we presented and all that was important to them, and this is what we found. What was most important to High Tech was budget control, followed by quality of deliverables, followed by communications, then stakeholder relations, and finally scheduling control. I think it's very important to to also get this in the beginning of the project as well, so that we can ensure that we're always following what is best for our customers. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bimbola Adebibi and I'll be presenting on the section Lessons Learned. While my team ensured the project on high-tech building extension was a success and also ensured that the challenges faced were resolved, we still had some lessons learned from the project. We learned that project scheduling is a key component to success and learned the need to keep project scope in check by ensuring every portion of the project scope is understood to avoid scope creep. We also know it is important to take note of lead times as handling of arrangements for necessary materials and equipment could be a problem. We learned of the importance of building a strong team, and we advise future students to build a strong team as the right team is capable of carrying out tasks effectively. In every project, communication is key as it helps to bridge gaps between we and our clients. Also, our instructor helped us by keeping the lines of communication open. She conducted collaborate meetings and left recordings for us that really helped to keep us on track, and we were able to refer to the recordings for reference purposes. For the overall experience on the projects gave us ideas of how a project is carried out in real life, the roles to play as a team member, the skills involved, and the difficulties that could be encountered. So believe that further knowledge and skills on this course will prepare one for jobs as a project manager. In conclusion, problems are inevitable during construction project. That is why setbacks should be addressed to avoid future difficulties. It is also necessary to build a strong team, ensure communication and project meetings are conducted on a regular basis, and have flexibility built into your plans for modern nature. Thank you.